want to wish everyone a good Erev Shabbos. It's Erev Shabbos Parshas Vayechi, and also January 1st, and a happy New Year to the secular calendar New Year. I hope everyone enjoys their day off. I want to just share some Torah, because there's never a day off from Torah. So we're wrapping up Sefer Bereshis, and the end of Sefer Bereshis, there is a little bit of a dramatic scene that the Torah ends Sefer Bereshis with the brothers confronting Yosef after the death of Yaakov. The brothers are feeling fearful of how Yosef is going to respond now that their father is no longer alive, if he's going to avenge the sale of the brothers when he was a little kid. And the brothers approach Yosef in a trepidation. They send a message to Yosef expressing their fear. And Yosef, the pasuk says, sees their reaction, and Yosef cries. And he responds to the brothers, Vayomer alehem Yosef al tiro ki atachas Elokim ani. Do you think I'm in the place of God? What exactly is going on in this dramatic, famous scene? And how is this an important message for the end of closing the book of Bereshit as we transition next week into Sefer Shemos? And how might it also be perhaps an important message for us in our own lives heading in the end of 2020 into the year 2021? So I want to share an amazing Sfas Emes that I saw. The Sfas Emes says that when Yosef saw how nervous his brothers were, he saw that they were nervous, that he would avenge their actions in the incident of the sale of Yosef many years prior. And Yosef saw how scared they were. He realized, wait a second, the brothers think that the only thing going on in this world is what they did, their actions. Yosef's going to avenge the brothers because of what they did. But they're failing to realize there was someone else who was pulling the strings and orchestrating everything. The fact that they're nervous, Yaakov's out of the picture, they're on their own, they're exposed, they're vulnerable. The fact they think, okay, so now our younger brother Yosef is going to avenge us means they don't realize that someone else was involved. Yosef, the Sfas Emes says that Yosef realized by the nervousness of his brothers, they were hergishu at Hagalut. The galus begins, the state of exile begins, and we think that we're here alone in this world without a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And only our actions are significant. And Yosef reminds them when they come to him vulnerable and nervous and says, Hatachas Elokim ani? Am I in place of God? HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent me here. Atem chashavtem alai ra'ah. You may have thought bad to me. Elokim chashava letova laman aso kayom hazel achiot amrav. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu had a plan, a master plan. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted me to be here so I could take care of all the people during this dark time. The sod of galus, the secret of a difficult time, is geula, of recognizing that there is HaKadosh Baruch Hu's with us, and he's orchestrating all the events, and there's a master plan. And the Sfas Emes goes on to say even further, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mechin kodem hagalas haaretz kedusho sheyachol litdabek bahem af b'choshech. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even in the galus, plants seeds of light and kedusha we need to hold on to, and we need to grab onto them, and those will help us achieve the geula even in the galus. And that's what Yosef represented to them. Yosef saw his brothers were feeling galus. Yosef saw they were feeling vulnerable. And he says to them, wait a second, no. In galus, there's a master plan, there's a bigger picture. Don't forget about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us in galus to find these kernels of kedusha, these kernels of hope, to find spirituality and godliness and relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in all of this. Perhaps this is the message that the Jewish people need to hear as we transition from the book of Bereshis, the sefer of the family of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, as we transition to a nation, an Am, going into the galus of Sefer Shemos. We need to recognize that there is a master plan, and even in the darkness, we are supposed to find kernels of hope, kernels of kedusha, kernels of or, if we recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a master plan. And hopefully, as we finish 2020, enter 2021, we'll shift our focus not to feel the hurt, not to feel the pain. Of course, there's lots of loss, and of course, there's lots of difficulty and hardship, and we can't understand why HaKadosh Baruch Hu does what he does. But we ask, what can we do in this situation? What can we learn? How can we reconnect to a Yosef HaTzadik, a Makor HaKdusha, a source of holiness and a source of godliness, and connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And that's what our avoda is these days. Our avoda is to recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a bigger plan, and while we may not understand it, our job is to find ways to become better and to be metaken areas that need improvement, and focus on bringing more Kedusha and strengthening our relation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We should be zocha as we enter this Parshas Vayechi, transition Sefer Shemos, to recognize even in the Galus there is a Geula, and we should be zocha to open our eyes and figure out where in each of our individual lives we can find these kernels of hope and kernels of Geula. Have a wonderful Shabbos.